That was one of the most depressing moments of my life.
Are black people just tokens for you to use?
I also receive a good amount of like transphobic comments.
It's probably the worst place for creators of color.
It's a reflection of the way that I'm suppressed in my everyday life.
They should hype up black creators doing black things just as much as they hype up white people doing black things.
I'm famous. Don't talk to me.
My big and be them woman them and man them. For less than $15 a year, you can gain access to Curiosity Stream and Nebula with the link in the description. Bro, what's up?
Hi.
Hey.
Not much. What's up with you?
So you know the stories that I do in the beginning of each video?
Yeah. Full disclosure, I've never really like watched one of your videos until like 5 minutes ago.
I want you to play the protagonist.
Oh, can I decline, or is this like?
I just sent you the script. You should be getting it right now.
Okay, let me take a. Jeez, oh, this is. I don't know if this is one of the more offensive ones. I'm not sure about this one. Hey, girlfriend. Hi.
This ain't your gal. This Mario.
Wait, why do you sound like Jar Jar Binks trying to sound like Darth Vader? Is that racist? Am I going to sound racist in this sketch?
It'll sound better in post, don't worry.
Okay. Cool beans. Why are you calling from my girlfriend's phone?
You mean our girlfriend?
Come again?
You need to come right now, cause I freaking myself out. Me and your gal been slewing since January. I was thinking we had something real, right? Well, tell me why I just catch her in bed biting the pillow with one gal behind her. Oh my god. How she could choose plastic over meat? I mean me. Okay, you know Liam Neeson's monologue in Taken?
Yeah, it lulls me to sleep every night.
I want you to perform that. Verbatim. Action.
Okay.
With the phone to you.
I don't know who you... Okay, yeah. I don't... How does Liam... I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. But if you're looking for a ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. What I do have is a very particular set of skills. Skills that I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare. For people like you. People like you? Is that... What am I...
This is gonna sound crazy, but I want you to act like you're driving, and I'm gonna turn that into an epic driving montage.
Okay, I'm not in a car right now. Is that important?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I am.
This is the best thing.
This is the good stuff?
Yes, this is amazing. Now I want you to act like you're bursting open a door, almost like the Kool-Aid Man. But instead of saying, oh yeah, I want you to say, oh no.
Okay, yeah, okay. So okay. So I burst.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just burst in.
Is that... Okay. Okay. Oh no!
Surprise!
Okay, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that you would do something like this.
Well, what's worse? You forgetting our 5-year anniversary, or me pranking you to remember?
Great voice. I just have one question.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, what does this have to do with TikTok, like, at all?
Glad you asked. Rose and her girlfriend are both incensed by each other's actions in the story. Rose is rightfully mad because her girlfriend created a scenario that caused her stressed and tested herself in the relationship. And her girlfriend is rightfully mad because she missed a milestone event. What would remedy this would be both parties being empathetic towards their respective perspectives. But that's often not how it goes. And that definitely wasn't the case with Alina's TikTok drama with Jagazis.
Are you familiar with MMIW? Murdered Missing Indigenous Women. They have this symbol of the hand over the mouth. Just like Black Lives Matter, of course all lives matter, but it sucks for us. Can we focus on us right now? Anyone that's queer, their voices are also suppressed too. And they decided to do Pride Out and create this video trend where they put their hands over their mouths to represent being silenced. You can imagine how upset that has made the Indigenous community. So Indigenous TikTok, Black TikTok, other people of queer social justice TikTok, all of us are jumping in to like explain why what they're doing is icky and gross. We're not saying you're bad people. We're not saying you should be canceled. We're not saying that your movement is trash. Just, you picked that one symbol. Did you have to do that? Here's why that's problematic. Some people took that real well. Jesus doubled down super hard, and his following then went out and started mass reporting anyone who was making videos like that.
Now, no way are the plights of pride and my indigenous folk them equitable to relationship drama, but it's a similar situation to tunneling one's vision to the point where you can only see how one has hurt you rather than how you may have hurt them. This is one of the common occurrences on TikTok. When a white creator appropriates black culture and then it eclipses the black creator that created it.
There's a historical precedent to all of this. Elvis, right? The fact that it's majority white audiences and that is what becomes so successful. Taking that and blowing it up for the majority white audiences and disconnecting it. That's like been happening and now it's just happening online.
Summer 2021. Ronald reminded us to our respective living room. And rather than whining up your waist on someone's crotch, many of us CDC abiding folk them were whining on TikTok. Megan Thee Stallion, the Mother Mary of Thoughtdom, just dropped the aptly named tune. Thought. So much like lemmings off of a cliff, everybody and their ma, mine included.
I am returning this. Ma'am, this is your baby. I know, it was like crying a lot and like...
Scurry to this malware disguised as a social media platform to pirate the latest dance choreography and inject digital dopamine straight into our veins. However, unlike Savage, WAP, or insert twerk song here, there was no challenge this time to go viral like the Rona that ran rampant outside. That's because the author of these dance challenges were black women. Notably in this case, Kiara Wilson, who grew tired of their choreography being co-opted by the likes of Charli D'Amelio and Addison Rae, and would aggregate an obscene amount of success off the very dances that when danced by Kiara herself, wouldn't get even a whit of the same amount of views.
Black women creating the songs, creating the dances, doing the dances, putting the songs on the platform, and then white women coming in, stealing it, and just skyrocketing levels and levels and levels above them is a reoccurring trend on TikTok that I've seen since inception. Charli D'Amelio came in and like popularized it. Thing is, a black creator did it. Nevertheless, it was like a black little girl. This girl never got the platform Charli D'Amelio did. Like Charli D'Amelio at this point is a multi-millionaire just off that one dance, just off that Renegade, you know? She went on Jimmy Fallon and like Jimmy Fallon called the Renegade her dance.
Black creators were protesting because this was but another example of how the world loves black culture, but not black people. The Renegade Challenge of 2019 to 2020, why that sound like the 1,000 Days War, fam? The Renegade Challenge of 19 saw D'Amelio emerge from the napalm clouds of cultural appropriation and blaxploitation as one of the largest creators on TikTok. Or Addison Rae, who went on Jimmy Fallon to perform these dances created by black creators. So when Thought came out, rather than ranting on TikTok about the racist algorithm, these creators simply didn't create. And they let their silence speak for itself, which resulted in this. What is wilder than this marinated man eating mayonnaise straight out the can? Is the fact that Megan made it easy for them. She legit said, hands on her knees, shaking on her thought, literally thought them for dummies at this point. And the Mayo Sapiens couldn't even conjure up a semblance of what these black creators did. This wasn't a simple scandal that would be soon forgotten. The thought strike was a microcosm of the discourse surrounding race in the States. It didn't only expose the biases in these algorithms, but it exposed the biases in ourselves.
The algorithm in and of itself is still just a bunch of rules and numbers. It's a reflection of the people who created it and their biases, and it is a way to perpetuate the biases of the people who are using TikTok.
Scholars such as Schaefer, Abdin, and Zeng claim that TikTok's algorithm is akin to crack cocaine. Never has doom scrolling been so enticing than a never-ending feed of FYP. Approximately 1 billion users per month open the clock app at least 8 times a day and watch 52 minutes worth of content. What was once a Gen Z safe space where moribund millennials and boomers alike would wag their fingers and condescend to is now the most downloaded app in 2020 and 2021. New media like IG and FB seems senile in comparison to TikTok. The app has transcended content and is now culture.
TikTok is a very insular space whose lessons cannot be applied holistically to any other platform on the internet.
These ephemeral entries into the entertainment landscape are born on this app and live in our interaction, to the point where every conversation that I have with my little cousins can be comprised of TikTok memes. No longer are URL and IRL realities separate. They are now informed and intertwined with one another. But TikTok is interesting in its paradoxical nature. On one hand, it's rooted in youth culture, which challenges the status quo. And on the other hand, it perpetuates the status quo.
All of these problems, they obviously are multiplied by aspects like talking about race. So like a black creator making a video with a hashtag that talks about blackness, the algorithm could just freak out at that for the reason of upholding white supremacy and having it be a white dominant hegemonic space where that is seen as like something that they don't want to touch.
A 10-second TikTok that beautifully encapsulates a philosophy-tooled video is sandwiched between two transphobic TikToks that annul the former. The platform represents the spectrum of the human condition, and the addictive quality of the app is in its algorithm. This series of zeros and ones may know you better than you know yourself. Rather than consuming content from the people that you follow, TikTok tells you what you like. And oftentimes, it's eerily accurate.
I am one of those people that figured out they're autistic because of the TikTok algorithm, essentially over the pandemic. TikTok has helped me figure out that I am autistic and trans. Yeah, you can get to know someone a lot better from watching an hour-long YouTube video, right? But there's something really magical in just watching 5 seconds of another person's human experience and connecting with them in a way that you have never connected with or felt validated by another human your entire life.
In fact, TikTok users take advantage of the algorithm's mind-reading qualities by leaving comments like, "for the algorithm," so that the algorithm would serve them more of that content, or swiftly swiping past TikToks that they don't want to be shown more of. This is akin to YouTube in this manner, but one thing about TikTok separates it from all the rest of these platforms, and that's its virality. With a low bar to climb in order to create, and an algorithm that seems to serve content that viewers voraciously consume. Going viral isn't this extremely rare moment that requires energy, tact, or even a following. It is so commonplace that it seems obtainable to not only creators, but to consumers.
You know the dopamine boost you get when like your video just hits like 10K likes out of nowhere? You're like, wow. People love me. Like I was just addicted to that. But then I got taken down. And that was one of the most depressing moments of my life. There's something about the power of TikTok, like the power of likes, the power of instant gratification that TikTok brings that's so exclusively different from any other app. And then they like take it away from you, you know? Then you start posting more. You start becoming like more addicted.
It's a low-risk, high-reward scenario, like lip-syncing or better yet, eyebrowing to a beat. But this creates a culture of shared behavior that transcends TikTok, where Michael Jackson's moonwalk or Soulja Boy's crank dance were dances inextricably attributed to a spawn point. A TikTok dance or trend can be replicated into this postmodern paradox, where with every replication, every imitation, the dance can be immortalized and anonymized. The choreography to Megan Thee Stallion's Savage is so synonymous with the song that it becomes a sense of belonging for those who participated in the trend. The sense of solidarity in this shared experience is culture. And this culture is TikTok. TikTok is a matrix for many to find belonging, meaning, and most of all, identity. And as many creators know, if you can get your audience to identify with you, you can exploit them.
The way that they're pushing mutualing people and friends only videos, they are trying to reinforce the parasocial relationship. They're trying to make you become more emotionally enmeshed with other people on the app because building those friendships and relationships is going to make you stay there longer. It's the same thing as like when big corporations install, yeah, we got a bowling alley and an open bar and you get to come hang out and be friends.
That's why thousands of pubescent, adolescent, and rust-riddled adults flocked to Dunkin' Donuts when the Charlie was released. And one would wonder, what would I have to say about a seemingly innocuous beverage? But this is less a drink, rather than it being a manifestation of colorless capital. TikTok's Eastern origins didn't protect it from Western white supremacy. The app has a currency, and we ain't talking about coins, we talking about color. Or maybe the lack thereof. Charlie is bigger than Charlie, with over 141 million followers. She has the Charlie quality, which is responsible for propelling others that look just like her to TikTok stardom. It's a cultural conveyor belt that doesn't seem to be slowing down.
Charli D'Amelio's success and affluence is a result of her success already in terms of just being born into the right attributes and class. In the Renegade dance, she is a conventionally attractive, Eurocentric white teenager on an app app that is full of either teenagers who are looking to follow conventionally attractive Eurocentric white teenagers because of implicit racial biases or hormonal stuff or whatever, and then adults who are creepy, who are looking to follow Eurocentric white teenagers because they're weirdos. If the video of the original girl who had created the dance had gotten on their For You page, I don't think she would have gotten Charli D'Amelio level.
While TikTok has a revolutionary air that only youth culture can create, it also creates a mainstream that resembles much of the old Western white supremacist ideals that we see in old media. Despite the democratic facade of this app, TikTok has a hue. From the Fallon Show, an NBA All-Star game, and even a Super Bowl commercial, it's clear that TikTok fame doesn't stay on the platform. It can be turned into real-life capital. If TikTok was a person, it has a type. It likes young, slender, and conventionally attractive white women. And this bias isn't a bug, it's a feature. Wait, are you still there? Hold on.
Oh, okay, we're back.
You're still on the call on one side.
I'm just like posted on the camera. There's totally a genre of like the thirst trap, like white boy. Usually it's all appropriating some kind of dance that was invented or popularized by a person of color.
There's no chronological timeline on TikTok. Whether you're on FYP or browsing a hashtag, it serves the most viewed videos to you, which are typically young white women dancing to the latest hip-hop tune, typically recorded by a black artist and danced by a black creator. And this black dancer will most likely never grace your FYP.
Every time I hit 100K, I'd just be taken down. And like, I didn't really see that trend that TikTok has this anti-blackness. I was so infatuated with the idea of like, I have this platform and people love me. I had no idea that TikTok was so biasly racist.
And the pernicious nature of this is, in order to chase that TikTok stardom, one that appears more obtainable than old media and definitely YouTube at this point, the TikTok user will replicate that Charli dance and create a cascading effect where everybody is, which then deepens the indelible mark that Charli and those like her leave upon the platform. It promotes a homogeneity that results in culture. And this method of replicating behavior, in order to replicate success, extends beyond the platform. It's no longer you wanting to simply dance like Charli, but you want to look like Charli. Ultimately finding yourself at a Dunkin' Donuts purchasing an overpriced mocha latte or whatever it is, simply because it carries the Charli brand. A more sophisticated D'Amelio now gives dance credits and captions like the choreography of the Twerkulator challenge being attributed to Layla Muhammad. But this is after establishing an entire career off the proverbial black box of black women. When you search Twerkulator on the app, you will find Charli's, not Layla's, or the countless other black women that also performed it. Because this algorithm is yet but another of the master's tools in his tool belt. And the master's tools never dismantle their institutions. TikTok engages in what I call soft supremacy, appearing to be democratic in its distribution across the platform, almost giving a taste tester to the digital crack it peddles to users by showering them with a modicum of success. But they only give you just enough so that you chase that high yet again.
6 hours a day I was just editing these TikToks. I was pushing 3 TikToks a day.
Those who are sustained with success are typically upholding Western beauty standards. So the supremacy is so subtle that you may not even realize it exists. Whiteness in this case isn't only normalized, it's lionized. And I want to be clear that it's not Charli's individual fault, but a systemic perpetuation that propels a Charli and others that look like her. However, there's some nuance to this. There's a reason why white supremacy is so powerful. Is that these individuals reify their white privilege. Is it asking too much for Charli and Addison and those like them to be cognizant of their contributions to this institution of white supremacy? How their investment into these biased algorithms can end up digging a deeper hole into the canyon that we're already in.
And this is why I have such a love-hate relationship with TikTok, because I want to be mad at it for the way that it radicalizes people, but it's also so beautiful because it's just bringing like-minded people together.
Whiteness isn't real. It's a construct created to consolidate power to a particular people and exclude another. White people aren't white. They're European. I mean, you're being robbed of your own historical heritage in the name of political warfare. So when thousands of teenagers imitate the new Charli dance in order to get a paucity of TikTok traction, they're reifying whiteness and commodifying it in a very compelling way, to the point where whiteness feels unintrusive, whiteness feels comfortable, thus making anything that isn't white feel forced. feel unnatural, which is why you hear Caucasians clamoring about why their favorite character is now black or queer. Why do these cartoons have to be so political? And many will write off these observations as it's not that deep, it's Bambi. However, in the context of culture, what happens when Charlie dances a dance of a black woman of whose name you probably don't even remember at this point? The choreography loses context and simply becomes content.
And I grew up in a very white town, and rap music or like AAVE, when it starts to pop up in like suburban areas, just white kids doing it, it's like that's a totally real thing that happens all the time. Weirdly like disconnected it is from just actual black people and what they're saying and what they're portraying or what they're making in their art. It's like it's taking something and making it this insular thing.
Kiara Wilson, bored in the house and in the house bored, took to TikTok to create choreography to Megan Thee Stallion's Savage. The dance infected users that replicated it and ultimately had Megan herself using that very choreography in her live performances. That's the hallmark version of Kiara's story. What really happened is Kiara did that dance on TikTok a bunch of times until Charlie came and made the dance famous by doing it herself. The story is a capitalist dystopia because Kiara is absolutely alienated from her own labor, and this disproportionate distribution of success is stark amongst black and white creators. You could say something and it'll probably get 10k views or something like that, but like if the same person says what you're saying and they're white, that'll go. Yeah. So have you like experienced that?
Yeah, 100% I've experienced that. I was about to be like, I don't know, but yeah, I have. I mean, there are two trends that I created on TikTok last year, and in both of the cases, I made the initial joke, and then a white person recreated an almost identical joke, and the video did way better. So yes, comedic imperialism.
But the method of meritocracy subtly suggests that this is a post-race platform. Unfortunately, we know better than to believe that since we had a black president, that these racial biases aren't baked into the literal foundation of America. TikTok has also been a place where political discourse like this can ensue.
I have the craziest story. Okay, back in the day, there was something called Polytalk, right? Which was basically like a whole bunch of these creators, POC creators predominantly, that just talked about politics. During the months of like last year, during the months of like June to August, the feds did a sweep. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, I got taken down 5 times. Polytalk was just destroyed. And I feel like that was a targeted attack because every time I got taken down was for minority safety because I showed my shoulders, apparently.
The platform has transformed from dances to discussion, which has allowed for an audience that typically wouldn't watch a video essay as long as this one to participate and engage in ideas they otherwise wouldn't. But this social media phenomenon has brought to light some other interesting aspects as well, and that is the aesthetic of activism. During the George Floyd protests, many influencers, Charlie included, gestured in support of Black Lives Matter by posting up black squares, or in Charlie's case, putting up BLM in their profile picture. And moves like this can very well be in good faith, thus garnering glowing support from critics and fans alike. But the irony is that these individuals go right back to their social media practices that prop up institutions that marginalize black people.
Where do we give space to white allies? Because that is the reality. No matter how poignant and eloquent we are, they just need to hear it out of a white face. And we do need white people to fulfill that role in the movement. But also, white people be problematic. White people center themselves.
And I empathize with these people. I truly do, because it is genuinely difficult to navigate this political landscape, even as an ally. However, it's not impossible. I've essayed about minstrelsy and my commodification of N video, but TikTok has a very interesting implication when it comes to parodying blackness. No longer does Shane Dawson need to throw a black scent. White TikTokers could literally use a sound created by a black voice and simply lip sync it, which allows these white creators to circumvent the pain and the marginalization that the black creators that actually did the voice have to go through in real life as well as on the platform. And the white TikTokers skip straight to the fame, straight to the success, and divorce it of black people, of black pain. It is akin to a Kim Kardashian appropriating the features of black women, the very features that black women are degraded for. It's beyond non-black people sharing black memes and vernacular and colloquialisms in an effort to communicate with non-black people in a particular hip and urban way. It's now to the point where you can literally race roleplay and get fame for it. Harking to a quote from Bell Hooks' Eating the Other. When race and ethnicity become commodified as resources for pleasure, the culture of specific groups, as well as the bodies of individuals, can be seen as constituting an alternative playground where members of the dominating race, genders, sexual practices affirm their power over an intimate relations with the other. TikTok is tourism for non-POC creators to enjoy POC culture without the pain. And while on the topic of non-POC, something piqued my curiosity on Curiosity Stream. It's literally called Monsieur Mayonaise, like Mr. Mayo. It sounds like something I would write.
My father is making mayonnaise. He loves making it. And I begin to wonder, why are you always making mayonnaise, Dad? Monsieur Mayonaise.
This is not satirical. I did not make this. It's amazing. You get this and more when you sign up for Curiosity Stream. And the best way to access it is through the smartest bundle in streaming. Curiosity Stream and Nebula. Get thousands of documentaries on Curiosity Stream and support your favorite intelligent independent creators like Big Joel and Philosophy Tube on Nebula, where you get access to exclusive you will never see on YouTube for $14.79 a year. It's one of the best decisions you can make other than watching one of these videos right here. I can see you on Nebula.
I'm not sure exactly what I'd call my race. Brown, maybe. I faced very racially motivated bias on TikTok.